Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel once again. In my last video I showed you all how you can make all-purpose flour or how flour is made, okay, or how you can make your own plain flour. In this video today, your one best variety chef and your bread coach will be showing you how you can make your own bread flour when you don't have one. So in Nigeria today we have varieties, even in outside of Nigeria we have varieties of all-purpose or plain flour. So in case you have any of these and you wish to convert to bread flour, let me show you what to do. So to make your own bread flour at home, what you need are you need the all-purpose flour or a plain flour. Then you need vital wheat gluten. So don't be confused about the differences between a plain flour and all-purpose flour. Plain flour and all-purpose flour are just the same, but the only difference there is that for all-purpose flour there is addition of a little bit of the hard wheat flour, which is the bread flour, that makes it to withstand any type of recipe, whereby a plain flour is just the white flour that was just processed, okay, that was just processed without addition of any of the other type of flour to it. That's just a plain flour. So for you to use a plain flour, you can use it for your pastries and for your cake. You need to, if you want to use it for any gluten any gluten recipe, you need to top it or add a little bit of gluten substitute or anything that can help it to form gluten when you use it. Although it can form, but it won't form just like an all-purpose flour, but both of them are the same. Now for you to make your own bread flour from either of these flour, either the plain flour or the all-purpose flour, what you need is get any of this flour and then get vital wheat gluten. There are other substitutes for this vital wheat gluten because vital wheat gluten is kind of expensive, so I'll also tell you some other substitute that you can use in place of this vital wheat gluten in your bread production. For example, to make a small batch of a bread flour, for example, you measure out like 130 grams of all-purpose flour or plain flour. Now once you measure out this flour, you're going to remove 5 grams of this flour. Remove 5 grams from this flour, okay? Measure out 130 grams and remove 5 grams from it, okay? So once you remove these 5 grams, you're going to replace these 5 grams that you have removed with 5 grams of vital wheat gluten to give it that gluten formation, to give it that elasticity and strength that it will have as a bread flour, okay? Now, what are the substitutes that you can use for this vital wheat gluten? So in case you do not have this vital wheat gluten or you don't have money to get it, these are some of the substitutes that you can use: the chickpeas, the soy flour, almond flour, psyllium husk, dantan gum, potato starch and protein powder. But note that when you are using any of these, either the vital wheat gluten or any of these substitutes, you don't need to add any of them too much. 5% of it is okay. For example, if you're making a cup of a flour, you need like half a teaspoon of either this dantan gum or the psyllium husk or any of these chickpeas that you have grounded. So half teaspoon is okay. So if you're using the vital wheat gluten, you can use like half a tablespoon to 1 tablespoon for a cup of flour, and that's okay. So ordinarily, bread flour is made from the red hard wheat, milling the red hard wheat. Then industrially, some of these proteins and this vital wheat gluten could be added to improve it. But mostly what are sold in the market are the all-purpose flour. So for you to make a high gluten standard bread, you can add the vital wheat gluten, or you can use the soy flour to top up the gluten and the protein content of your bread, so that you're going to have a standard structured bread. But if you still want, you can just go ahead and use the all-purpose flour that are sold in the market. Your bread will also have a good rise. but you can't compare it to when you use the actual bread flour. I hope this video is helpful, and if you love this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. So when next you want to make your bread, add any of those substitutes if you don't have the vital wheat gluten to your bread. Finally, lest I forgot, egg is also a good substitute for vital wheat gluten. But like I said, any of these substitutes, you don't need to add them too much. So you have to be minimal in addition of any of those substitutes, so you don't have a bread recipe that will have either a high gluten content and it's going to be so soggy and too dense and may not have that kind of softness that you want. So I hope this video is helpful. See you guys in my next video, and please don't forget to follow me on all my social media handle, my Facebook account or my Facebook page at The Variety Chef, my Instagram at The Variety Chef. Till then, say bye.